Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I'm ready to go this week. I'm happy to see you guys in here. What's up, Johnny Guns? I absolutely love the over in the Lions-Bears game, even though, we've had 2 or 3 games where the offense is of both of these teams haven't shown up. It seems like an over for me. Like this Bears defense, I think they surpassed the Lions as worst in the NFL. I mean, these are both bottom 5 defenses. Justin Fields is finally playing good. I like that. What's up, Tim? What's up, Campbell Jones Lawson? What do you think of the Bucs versus Seattle game? I think Seattle wins the game. I'm tempted to bet it. I'm tempted to bet Seattle, especially like if it's +2.5, +3. I saw it in +3 in a lot of places, but it was at -130. I don't know if you guys are seeing the same thing. That game seems really, really interesting to me, and I think it's going to be a good game. And I just haven't seen enough from the Buccaneers. Like we've been pretty much saying how bad the Rams are this whole year. Rams damn near beat them in Tampa Bay. I'm not seeing how anything's changing. And I got to tell you, I mean, there's been a ton of surprising things in the NFL this year, but maybe the most surprising thing has been the Seattle defense actually playing good football. Remember how bad they started? And it seems like these last 3-4 weeks, they're playing really good and they're getting a pass rush. I mean, Bruce Irvin is getting a pass rush. So I'm just throwing my hands up in the air. I'm going Seattle. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. What's up, Mountain of Thunder? What's up, Luis? What's up, Carrie DeAngelis? Are the Raiders safe for my survivor pick? Yeah. I mean, this is one I wanted to ask you guys about. I wanted to wait until everyone got in here, but I might as well just ask you this now. So all week, Raiders were -6. And we saw today, we all thought Waller was coming back this week. We saw him put to injured reserve. Then we saw Renfro put on injured reserve this year. And now we saw the Raiders game go from -6 to -4. I just wanted your opinion on that. And maybe I have psychosis. Maybe this year is making me absolutely insane. But with this Jeff Saturday stuff and watching how bad Sam Ehlinger was last week for the Colts, am I crazy for wanting to put money on the Raiders? We saw how the Raiders blew that lead, and we saw how bad they were against the Saints, how they didn't even show up. But this should be a place for the Raiders. We got them last time. They were in a similar situation. We got the Raiders -7 against the Texans, but we had a sweat for that one. That was nothing easy. That's where I'm at, man. I want to see everyone's opinion on it. What's up, Tico? How you doing, my man? I hope everything's good with you, my guy. Yeah, man. What's up, Stanley Williams? Well, Alan, you think Minnesota is a go? I want it. But is Allen out? I mean, aren't we just kind of betting on that? Like if Josh Allen plays and if he actually plays in that game, we have to bet Buffalo just for value reasons, right? I think it's -3.5. I actually saw on one of my bucks, it was actually down to -3. I mean, it makes me think that they know something we don't. So maybe he's obviously not playing. When I look at that, that's what the line's telling me. Okay, let me get that. Let me get that up. I do want to caution people. Like, okay, Case Keenum was absolute garbage in the preseason with the Bills this year. I watched his game against the Colts. I think he played a full 3 quarters in that one, and he was absolutely ineffective. But Case Keenum, last time he started a game in the NFL, he won with the Browns. We did bet that one. But that was a good 2.5 years ago. but I still think Case Keenum's dangerous enough where I wouldn't go all in on the Vikings plus 3.5. But you got to think the Vikings win that game with Case Keenum there, especially with how the Bills offense, like, here's one thing about the Bills offense that I started realizing last week. Like, Gabe Davis is really overrated. Isaiah McKenzie sucks. Dawson Knox really isn't good. And then the only one who gets consistent separation is Stephon Diggs. And the run game has been tailing off the last 3 or 4 weeks. Am I wrong on that perception? And we know the Minnesota Vikings struggle in the secondary. And I'm a Vikings fan, and this record has surprised me. Credit to Kevin O'Connell. I give him full credit for the record. But I could see the Vikings winning this game in Case Keenum plays, as crazy as it sounds. And the Vikings just have a lot of luck. Daryl Robinson, the GOAT. Thank you, my man. Thank you, my man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I want to read these comments about the Raiders. I'm dropping that Niners -6 when I buy a point back. Keenan Allen being out this game. Yeah, I don't want it. That's why it was a money pick. The -7's not scaring me. This is why I said it's Alamo week. This is why it's Alamo week. I don't care that the 49ers are -7 this week. I watched that Chargers-Falcons game, and you saw how bad the Falcons are last night. Although Thursday night football, let's always put that in a separate shelf as an outlier. But we saw how bad the Falcons were last night. But that Chargers front seven, like, they're soft to me. There are so many other problems with the Chargers, but let's just start there. That Chargers front seven gets pushed around. Like, are they even getting any defensive tackle play? I actually thought they solved that problem in free agency. All they have is Khalil Mack up there. They got one good linebacker, and the rest of the players get pushed around like Swiss cheese. And listen, last year doesn't matter. 2 years ago doesn't matter. But I'm going Niners in this game, and we've seen this with the Niners before. They start slow, and they start picking up pace in early November, and that's when they take off. I think they take off this game, and everyone was excited about the McCaffrey pickup 2 weeks ago, like when he had only like 2 days of practice. I wasn't, but I'm now excited about it, especially with how he played last game. And one thing about this Chargers defense, here's another thing that's troubling after their ability to stop the run. Here's one thing I'm worried about. Chargers defense, they play off coverage. They really just sit back and shell coverage, and they let you throw it underneath. Let me ask you a question. Is that how you would play the 49ers receivers? Would you let Deebo Samuel catch underneath routes and hope you can tackle them? I think the 49ers get a ton of yak this game. I think they grind this game out, and we probably didn't even talk about the biggest issue on the Chargers right now. I'm looking at this Chargers offense, and everyone seems to be taking cheap shots at Herbert. I actually don't agree. Like, I think he's making the right decisions. I think he's doing his best. Offensive line isn't getting it done. And you know, this 49ers defensive line, correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen the final injury report, but they're finally getting healthy. Bosa seems to be getting better from that groin injury. So you got the 49ers winning the matchup there. Someone just said in the chat, Keenan Allen's out. Mike Williams is out. So, I mean, Gerald Everett can do some things, but who the hell is going to catch the ball? Who the hell is going to be able to block? And the Chargers' run game has been absolutely non-existent. They even had trouble running it last week against the Falcons, and you saw how that front seven of the Falcons is absolute butter. So, listen, and I don't like going -7, -6 on prime time. I don't like digging the trench for something like that. But at a certain point, I'm not changing my damn mind. I'm going to go down I'm going to get flanked and gunned down on this. I think it's a hill worth dying on. I don't see any reason why I'm not going to die on this hill. Similar thoughts to the Cowboys game. And I think this year has people hearing voices because it's almost like this year is counterintuitive. Um, if you understand what I'm saying, you just feel like the opposite happens. Like this year's NFL, I would almost describe more like March Madness, where your wife could fill out the bracket better than you, someone who watches 10 hours of college basketball a week. And that's not making excuses. I am digging this trench. I am going in this week. God only knows the consequences, but that's where we're at. I mean, can anyone find any reason why the 49ers shouldn't cover that spread? Because I've looked for every damn reason. I've been boggling my mind. I've watched every single Chargers game this year. I'm just not seeing it. I don't see how the 49ers don't cover it. Dave has Chargers first half. I like it, man. Yeah, I didn't see the first. Oh, my dog's barking. My dog's getting pumped up. Daniel Galbraith, Lawson, are you having a tough time enjoying games this year? Yeah, I have to be completely honest with you. NFL has been in my blood. I started watching when I was 5 or 6 years old. And I have to be honest, the level of football this year just hasn't been good enough. I don't know about you guys. My Minnesota Vikings are 7-1. This Minnesota Vikings team would lose to 30 to Brett Favre's Minnesota Viking team, just to give an example. These Thursday night games, they're absolutely terrible. And they're not fun. And if this wasn't my job, I would not watch these Thursday night games. And we're all live and breathe football. Like football is in our bloodstream. And it's hard for me to enjoy this year. Dan, aren't you an Eagles fan? Like the Eagles are fun to watch. But we're just seeing so much sloppy football. And one reason why I think the Eagles win the championships, just going off on a separate path, is because they actually play old school fundamental football with a new kick of explosion. So many teams play sloppy this year. So many quarterbacks just aren't playing at a good enough level. I mean, for heaven's sakes, Geno Smith, if we just look at the film, this man's been a top 5 quarterback in the league this year. Am I saying anything crazy? I sound crazy. If you told me week 10 that in the preseason, if you told me week 10, I would think Geno Smith has played top 5 ball, I would probably come slap you in the face. But that's where we're at. And just, I don't know. I want to hear your guys' opinion more than mine. But yeah, this year has been sloppy. It's tough to watch. The quality of games aren't good. Some teams get insanely easy schedules, a la Giants and my Minnesota Vikings, and some teams get absolute gauntlets. It's just really unequal. And then you got like you get the Denver Broncos in prime time every week just to add the cherry on top. But yeah, so I've been feeling like that. I do get some enjoyment still, but I really enjoyed the Vikings Commanders game. But yeah, so yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm going to get to the Patreon questions. Thank you for being in here. Make sure you hit the like button. Yeah, and I pretty much said what I wanted to say going in. Like, I'm ready for this week. I'm really excited for this week. This has been the most excited I've been probably since week 3 or week 4. So I'm excited for it, man. So yeah, I get why some of you guys watch college football. Yeah, I see. I'm reading the comments. Yeah, a lot of you guys are Eagles fans, and you can't. Yeah, and a lot of you guys are dogging Kirk Cousins. Um, yeah, and then about the lack of quarterback play this year, I don't know if it's necessarily like the secondary is getting better. But that's where I'm at. Let's get to the Patreon questions. We got a lot to bet this week. I wanted to see that. So what was the final prognosis on that Colts Jeff Saturday situation? Are you guys fading it or are you loving it? For me, it's a fade. But the Raiders are a tough team to bet, even with that down to -4. The Raiders, they were so lucrative for us last year, and it feels like they can't cover a spread to save their life. Gennaro Gonzalez, your 6-point teaser of the week. I'll give you something that I like. I like the 49ers teasing it down, and I like bringing the Broncos up. I do like that. Thank you. Thank you, Tasha. Thank you, Tasha. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, let's get to the Patreon questions. Let's see what they're talking about. Okay, let's get it. And yeah, man, and I was curious just to get a gauge because I do come back and read the live chat later. I try to read it, but there's like so much going on. How are you guys feeling it for this week? Like, give it to me like on a scale of like 1 to 10. 1 being terrible, 10 being you want to bet everyone. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Mountain of Thunder. Hey, Lawson, I'm going for Pittsburgh against the Saints Sunday. What do you think? The thing that really shocked me was Watt's back. And it makes sense to me. Like, I have the Saints as a money pick on Tuesday. Thank you for actually bringing this up. This was one topic I wanted to talk about. Saints are not a money pick this week. I would not bet this game. And if you put my life on the line, I would go Saints. But you get, here's my question about the game. Is Pittsburgh going to be able to take advantage of the Saints defense? And the Saints defense has been so up and down this year, it's really hard to predict. And I don't know about you, but I'm not too crazy about Kenny Pickett because let's take a step back and look at this Steelers offense. Okay, we know the offensive line is garbage. They got 2 pretty decent running backs. Look at that receiving core, and they got a few good tight ends. They should be able to throw it, and they should be way more explosive than they are. That's my only hesitancy. But I mean, this has Tomlin winning it. This has Tomlin trap job coming up. I could see him somehow finding a way to win this game, but I don't have confidence in this Pittsburgh offense playing better. Although, look at this that Monday night game against the beat up Ravens team, whole team was damn near out. That could be the end of the Saints. It did feel like they were getting a resurgence. I just wonder if that took the air out of the balloon. Yeah. Here we go. Shannon Spicer, Broncos pull the upset. That's why I like the Broncos in a teaser. I've been coming around to it more as the week goes on. But when I'm looking at this Titans team, okay, they're damn proficient. And Mike Vrabel's a damn good coach. But this Broncos defense can ball. And I know the Broncos defense, they don't have the best run defense in the world, but their pass defense is insane. If Tannehill plays, then maybe I have a few more doubts. But Malik Willis, I thought he would be better than this. PJ Walker looks better than him. But, man, I do think the Broncos get better off the bye week. Although, let me ask a question for you guys. Aren't you getting a little bit scared of some of the stuff Russ Wilson's been saying? He's getting pretty ridiculous. You guys are feeling 10. Someone said 15. Yeah, Raiders have a lot of people down. Luckily, I haven't been betting them, but bet them against the Texans, and then unfortunately, I fell into that Saints trap. That was one that probably hurt the most this year. Um, yeah, man. Let me just circle back to that. What's up, the Sticks? Like, Mariota was absolutely terrible, and I like Arthur Smith. I actually think Arthur Smith is a damn good coach, and I'm high for the Falcons' future. But Desmond Ridder should have got a shot last night. Am I crazy? Like, Mariota trying to throw from his behind was one of the most pathetic things I've seen in my life of watching NFL. Where was Cordell Patterson's involvement in the game? You could just throw a quick screen to him, get him on the outside. Where's a jet sweep? It's just zone off tackle every single play. And then you do play action and you watch Mariota get destroyed. And then you look at Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts looks like a below average player. That's how bad the quarterback play's been. I mean, it's just terrible. Here we go. Let's get to the Patreon questions. Alex, so are the Cowboys college fun game? I'm going big on it. I wouldn't say it's a college fun game. If it was a different year, it would be. But I absolutely love the Cowboys in that game. I think I absolutely love the Cowboys that game. I think the Cowboys run the ball really well, and I made the separate video about it for a reason. That's the hill I'm willing to die on. Sam Fran, Cowboys, that's the hill I'm dying on this week. If I die, I die, man. And when I look at this Cowboys game, I see a Cowboys team that's going to run the ball down the throat of the Packers. Listen, with Rashawn Gary, which not a lot of people talk about Rashawn Gary, but for me, he's been top 5 defensive lineman this year. He doesn't have great stats, but he's been top 5 defensive lineman this year for a reason. He's out, man. Dobbs is out. Correct me if I'm wrong. And they're banged up in other places. I just think the Cowboys run the ball on them. I think the Cowboys run it for 150 to 170. I don't think Dak has to do a lot. Now, with the Dallas Cowboys, you get a little bit scared about Kellen Moore. You sometimes he falls in love with the pass. Sometimes he'll just throw 7-8 straight plays with Dak Prescott. That's not the key. That is not the key to win this game. Do I fear the NFL wanting to keep this bad boy close? A few holding calls on first down. Of course I do. I'm fucking petrified of it. But in the end, I just feel like I have to go Cowboys here. Another area that the Packers have struggled. They've struggled on their offensive line. They've just really gotten beat up there. Bakhtiari, he only plays like 40% of the game. Right tackle has been an absolute mess. I'm blanking on the name. This Cowboys defensive line's got 6 or 7 dogs. Am I wrong? Like, they come at you in absolute waves, and I'm just not seeing how the Packers get the advantage there. I don't need it. Like, my analysis isn't even about Aaron a game Rodgers. My analysis is about this Dallas secondary as well. I mean, if you can't get separation on Detroit secondary, who the hell are you going to get separation against? That's my question. Now, crazy stuff happens in the NFL, and this year has been absolutely crazy, but that's where I'm at on it. I'm going pretty hard on that game. It's not college fun game because this year is absolutely unpredictable. And like I said, one thing that could kill the Packers is one thing that could kill the Cowboys is holding on 1st and 10. Then they get the 1st and 20. And that's where I'm at. I don't know if the cold weather has an advantage. Like, who's the better cold weather team? Who runs the ball better? Like, that's what I don't get. Like, I just feel like we're getting paranoid and stuff. Like, we're saying, oh, it's in Lambeau Field, so Cowboys are going to lose, or Cowboys don't play good on the road. Like, I actually think the Cowboys actually, most of the time, if they got a good team, I'd rather take them on the road. The time I've seen them suffer cataclysmic upsets was at Jerry Dome. Like, you remember Thanksgiving against the Bills before Josh Allen was good? Like, that game comes to mind. And like, I'm just saying, like, okay, like cold weather, but can the Packers run the ball? Like, that's where I'm at. Like, is there a football reason? That's where I'm at. And like, how cold is it going to be? Is it going to be like negative 20 degrees so Zeke Elliott can't get off the bus? That's where I'm at. I don't even know what, like, is it going to be a snowball? Like, aren't we just kind of grasping at straws? Can someone give me a football reason? Can I get a football reason? I just want a football reason. Not trying to flip out on you, Dan, but can a man get a football reason? Like, okay, the cold weather advantage, you would think there's going to be wind. I don't know if there's going to be any wind. And you would think, okay, you want the quarterback who has the stronger arm. Yeah, Aaron the Game Rodgers has a bullet, but who the hell is he going to throw to? That's where I'm at. Here we go. Let's get to the Patreon questions. That was the first one. Adrian, any World Cup futures back? Yeah, I'm going Brazil. A lot of the European clubs have had injuries. I haven't officially posted it on Patreon yet, but that's the direction I'm going. This is from Derek. What's up, Derek? Hi, John. If you had to eliminate one game off of this 7-point teaser, which would it be? Miami plus 3.5. I like it. I don't see them losing by any more than a field goal. KC minus 2.5. I absolutely love it. Buffalo plus 3.5. Love it. Dallas plus 2.5. No, actually take the Buffalo one off of there, because take that Buffalo one off there. We don't know if Josh Allen is playing. Dallas plus 2.5. I like it. San Fran. Pick them. Yes, I like it. Philadelphia minus 4. I like it. Yeah, it's just take that Bills one off of there. Like, there's just too much uncertainty in that game, Derek. Okay, here we go. Money, Browns fan. I don't know if I could say that last word in your name. I'm done with Thursday night Amazon. It's got me messed up. Also, never putting another dime on those shitty birds. Finally playing like the worst team is projected. Yeah, I've been saying all year, don't bet Thursday night, but this year has really started to prove that I was even right. I mean, we all fall for the temptation. We all fall for the temptation on Thursday night once in a while, but it's probably best we don't. Okay, here we go. Charles Kaiser. Hey, Lawson, why is the line dropping on Packers Cowboys -5 to -4.5 in some fours? Shouldn't it go the other direction? Maybe Vegas is starting to doubt the Cowboys. You would think it would go the other direction because the Packers have a ton of injuries. Okay, Alistair with the super chat. Thank you, my friend. Lawson, I agree. Green Bay be flopping third quarter. Yeah, we'll wait and see, man. But it's good that the line's dropping. I don't get scared about that. Remember when we had the Chiefs against the 49ers, a lot of people were going OD with that, and it didn't make a difference. Okay, Lino Frosto, how do you feel about towel snapping in today's locker rooms? Does it really build character? Dude, I don't even know how to answer that. Also, give me a shout out. What's up, Lino? Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't pay attention to all that stuff. This is from Ad. But you did make me laugh. This is from Ad in a pick'em pool where you pick 6 games a week against the spread. Over-unders can also be taken. Opening lines are set in stone. Are Vikes plus 6.5 and under 46.5 free squares if Keenum starts? I do, but what timeline do you have on that, Ad? because the timeline's important. Because if Josh Allen start, that's get dangerous. But I'll be honest, even if Josh Allen started, I do like the Vikings +7, +6.5. I liked them all week. Vikings seem to keep those games close. Here we go. Dean says, nice outside background scenery, Lawson in the new YouTube video. Appreciate it, bro. That's the balcony in my house. I'm trying to change it up, trying to get some new looks. This is from thank you for the question, Dean. This is from IMMG333. Hey, Lawson, love the videos. Quick question. When it comes to withdrawing betting earnings from a site like Bovada, how is it taxed or how do you report that? I've been winning a lot more this year thanks to you. And the last thing I want is to be screwed by the IRS. How do you go about it, Lawson? Okay. Okay, Mikhail is completely right. He did respond to your question. If you won less than 10K, you don't have to pay taxes. But for me, okay, let me write you a response later. But also, I don't like Bovada. Be very, very careful with them. I did a video about 1.5, 2 years ago, before last season, where I talked about how they banned me. But yeah, we got to know the amount of money, because that's what it all comes down to. And also, I heard it depends on the state. For me, I got paid in Bitcoin, so I prefer that method. And then once you transfer it to your bank account, Coinbase will do your taxes for you. Here we go. Mikhail, hey, John, back to basics. Single bets, no Monday Night Football. No Thursday night. You've always done fine without them. And I know the peeps want teasers and prop bets, but you have done so well without them. I agree, man. I agree, man. I've been with you now for 3 years, and it's always been money. Yeah, there is a bad week sometimes, but hey, that's gambling. I believe in you. Your picks are money. Man, I appreciate it, bro. I really appreciate it, man. It means a lot. Yeah, because like a lot of people on the Patreon page have been with me 3+ years, and that means a lot, man. And yeah, and luckily it's good, man, because we got a good chat on there. Some people, they'll go haywire. Like, I'll have a 2-2 week, and then you would think like the damn San Francisco, the Eiffel Tower fell, and there was a completely big attack or something like that. But yeah, man, I like it. I read the comments on there. A lot of times you guys have good ideas. I like I said, man, it's not even like with the props, we've been good this year, besides for last week. But yeah, man, I'm not really trying to do it. I did it because people asked me to, but honestly, it isn't worth my mental energy. And then I remember a guy on Patreon, he commented why he doesn't like betting props. It's because he feels like he's on like methamphetamine, like going back, clicking, going to Google, clicking the box score. And that's just no fun, man. That's just no fun. Here we go. Okay. Add fear of Avanshi. I stopped watching Thursday Night Football. You probably made the best life choice you could, because it's just so bad, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. But I will do it because I have to take whatever we do seriously. But at a certain point, are we learning anything from Thursday night? Like, did we learn anything about the Texans and Eagles? Did we learn anything about the Panthers and Falcons? I haven't learned anything all year. Dean Lawson, I don't know about that Cowboys game. I might be wrong, but I think Aaron Rodgers is due for a win. Plus, the game is on the NFL. Yeah, plus the game on Fox Network. Fox Network is notorious with the upsets, bro. it will be the national game of the week. They will have a lot of eyes on it. You always got to fear for those 1st and 10 holding calls to keep that bad boy close. But I can't get conspiratorial here. I have to choose the value. I have to choose the team that's going to run it better. I have to choose the team that's going to play defense better. And I'm not so sure Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to pull this off. Outside of the Bears receiving core, also, I think maybe with adding Claypool and Mooney, I would actually take the Bears receiving core over the Packers. And the Packers moved the ball decent against the Lions. But if you look at the Packers in the second half of games, they're probably the worst offense in the league. And if we look at the full game, they're bottom 5 offense in the league. Hell, they could be worse by now. There's no, like, for me, like, at least the Texans do one thing good. I can't say Green Bay does one thing good. Like, they haven't even been able to get the run game going. But I get what you're saying. National game of the week. NFL hasn't been getting good ratings. That's where we're at. So I get it, man. And no one wants to be fucked. There's nothing worse than being fucked. You're going to make good picks. You're going to make bad picks, but no one wants to be fucked. No one wants the Cowboys to go out there and get 11 penalties for 140 yards. And every single hold they do, they throw the flag. No one wants that. Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, man. He needs to get the ayahuasca. What's up, Hammond? What's up, my man? Yeah, I'll let you know. I'm just trying to get through the Patreon questions. So I probably like about the hour mark. I've been talking a lot today, man. There's a lot of stuff I want to get off my chest. Michael's okay. Here we go. Michael Zhang likes the Dolphins -3.5, and he likes the Chief -9.5. I like both of those too. I won't be betting them, although I am thinking about one of them. I've been thinking about it all day. I won't say which one. But I know the fundamentals are Browns +3.5 here. It's not a bad place to be. They run the ball really good. Miami can't stop the run to save their life, and it doesn't seem like it's getting better. So I get all that, but this Miami team is explosive. This Miami offense is not a joke. And when Tua plays, this Miami team seems to get 27, 30 points, and I'm not sure the Browns can keep pace. And maybe the Browns defense has solved their issues with their performance against the Bengals. Maybe. I would not go that far to say this Browns defense is getting any better. One thing that shocked me this year was just how bad this Browns defense was. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Sean McFarland told y'all Panthers was the play. Yeah, you also told us to bet San Fran against the Chiefs. Dude, you didn't even give any evidence why that game would go that way. Like for me, like beating your chest over the Panthers, that like, come on, bro. Like, who would even bet that game? And at the very least, I had the under. Come on, man. I don't remind you every time you get one wrong. Like, I pick every game on here. Like a lot of these shows, they just pick like 5 games. I pick every game a week. Like, dude, that guy's he's just like, every time he's wrong, he doesn't come on and say he's wrong. Like, the dude's been wrong so much this year, and it's just the guy gets frustrating. Dude, the Hound, dude, they've been blowing smoke. Like, you've been on Patreon like 3-4 years. Like, dude, dude, that guy is like the worst, man. Like, he tried to talk me out. He went on a mission. let me just rewind. I gotta get this off my chest, man. Fuck. You guys remember when the Chiefs were playing at the 49ers? Chiefs opened, I think they opened at -3. On Tuesday morning, right after the Vegas spread video, I go on there and I put the Chiefs. God gives me hell all week. Like, literally, no. 10 paragraphs would be small. 12 paragraphs would be small. Like, I got about 30 to 35 paragraphs every single post I made talking about that game. And then there was line movement after McCaffrey was traded down to -1. The guy gave me hell all week because I had the nerve to pick the Chiefs. Yes, dude, I got it at -3 and it moved down to -1.5. But it doesn't mean the 49ers are going to win or cover that game. Like, that was one that just really got under my craw. And it was like a concerted effort to talk me out of it because of a small line movement. And let me go into perspective. The whole 49ers defensive line was out that game. Armstead was out. I'm pretty sure Bosa was out, or he was playing on one leg. Like, other defensive linemen were out. Like, 6 defensive starters from the 49ers were out. Like, yeah, like I like him, man, but yeah, sometimes like it just gets under my craw, like going on a campaign, like, and trying to make me look bad. Okay, bro, I can't control line movement. I got in the Chiefs early. I put a big bet on it. I put it on Patreon. I thought it would move the other way. I thought it would, and judging by the way how that game went, it should have been there. Yeah, man. Like, it's just like, yeah, man. That one got under my crowd. I'm gonna stop bitching for a little while. Daniel on Patreon. Shouldn't the Vikings be a money pick versus the Bills with no Josh Allen? Maybe even a college fund monster to win plus 150 money line. I see your logic. But Dan, I'm gonna look in the camera if you're watching this. Please, for the love of Jesus, do not bet this early. You have to wait until you get the word, because it's looking like Josh Allen's not going to play, right? He didn't practice Wednesday. He didn't practice Thursday. He didn't practice today, correct? From what I read. Just please don't get caught in this buzzsaw. Because my Vikings, they're pretty good this year, but the 7-1 record isn't something I would categorize them with. But it makes sense. I do think Case Keenum is better than a lot of people are saying, but he has his limitations. And like I said earlier in the show, I think these Bills targets on offense are overrated. I feel like the two teams that should be trying to get Odell Beckham the most are the Ravens and the Bills. Like, Gabriel Davis isn't getting a lot of separation. Isaiah McKenzie's not getting a lot of separation. Dawson Knox isn't getting a hell of a lot. So I like the methodology behind your pick. To beat the Vikings, you have to really throw it, and you have to attack them in the slot with underneath routes. And then you got Diggs against Patrick Peterson. That's how you have to attack them. I just don't think they'll be able to do it that way with Case Keenum. Speaking of the devil, this is a question from Steve Terry. If the Cowboys sign Odell Beckham, do you think it may take the Cowboys over the top and lead to a Super Bowl appearance? I do. I still would go with the Eagles, Steve. But you do wonder. Now, this could be me maybe being unfair to Kellen Moore. We got Cowboys fans in the chat, so maybe they'll chime in. But is it just me, or are the Cowboys a better team now that they just run the ball? And they run it like 55% of the time and use play action. If Kellen Moore would use Odell Beckham right, him and CeeDee Lamb would be really, really nasty combination, and they could hit you in a variety of different ways. I do think the Cowboys might need that. Like, for me right now in the NFC, you got the Eagles, We can start talking about the Vikings, but I would put the Cowboys way above my Vikings, unfortunately. And you got the 49ers. And we have to talk about the Seahawks. It's outside of the Eagles, there's no favorite. So I agree with what you're saying. And I don't think the Cowboys are going to get him though. I'm going to just be honest. I don't think the Cowboys get him. Um, yeah, it's risky with Case Keenum, man, because everyone forgets that he had his Geno Smith type year with the Vikings. Everyone seems to forget that. So yeah, it's just caution on that. Saw some of you guys reminding that guy in the chat. Zeke is questionable. I think he'll play, but I'm good with Pollard if he's not playing. I'm good with it. I actually do like Zeke more than other people. Like, I'm curious what the Cowboys fans have to say. Johnny, if you want to come on later, let me know. I do want to hear what you have to say about the Cowboys. Or just send me a message on Instagram. But yeah, like I do like Zeke more than more people. I feel like he helps the run attack. Although if they just had to go with a heavy mix of Pollard, I wouldn't smug my nose at it. Benny G says, John, love your work, mate, but you need to become a voice actor. It's just superb. If you have an agent, I will do it. I will do it, man. I will do it. I have a voice like this that I used to talk to women when I want to charm them. That's about as much as I can change it. This is from P. What's up, P? Hope you're doing good, my man. You think they can make Joshy sit so we see Keenum Diggs revenge game? that would be my luck, right? Like Vikings fan comes in, like Josh Allen out. All right, we're going 8-1, and then Case Keenum just throws for like 315, and Stephon Diggs puts up like a 180 spot. That would be the luck, right? I mean, yeah. There is just something about that game calling me. If you get the +3.5 for the Vikings, if Case Keenum plays, but it is dangerous. It is very dangerous. Mikhail, my question, what's up, Mikhail? This week about this Dallas game. Does Rodgers have a chance in hell of upsetting the Cowboys this weekend? I'm digging the trench right beside you, brother. It's just like hearing you talk on the Cowboys are going to a funk on Rodgers. Yeah, and like Mikhail, like everyone keeps straw manning me this week. This game isn't about Rodgers. Like, I don't criticize Aaron Rodgers. I think he's damn good. Has he missed a few throws this year? Yeah, but no one is understanding how bad this receiving core was from. You guys remember Brady's last year with New England? Me and my dad, we watched how that year finished, and it was absolute ugly. And everyone was saying, "Oh, Brady's done. Brady sucks. He's too old." And then no one wanted to look at how little separation the receivers got. No one wanted to look at Julian Edelman being a man's best receiver. No one wanted to look at some of the bombs they had running routes. That's the situation the Packers are in. I am also concerned about Matt LaFleur. They're going to need to cook up something special. They're going to need to get some big plays. If you watch the Packers, they don't get any explosive plays this year. They're just really stagnant. Everything in front, check downs, and their offensive line also gets their ass kicked. So have you guys ever seen Aaron Rodgers get hit so much? Like, I've never seen the man take so many hits this year. Okay, here we go. This is from Frito. Yo, Lawson, I'm really liking the Titans and Jags with the points. What do you think? I would caution you with the Jags. I still like the Titans. It looks like Tannehill's getting healthy. If you tease the Broncos, I would be fine with it, but I do think the Titans win the game. I think it's going to be a sweater, though. You remember when we had the Titans against the Commanders? I think you're going to have to sweat for it. I think the Broncos play is just a wee bit better on offense. I do think that Titans defense will be a little bit tired. If you do bet the Titans, Fredo, just make sure you get a health update on Jeffrey Simmons and some of the players on defense. When I checked earlier in the week, they were pretty banged up. This is from Joseph Ware. What's up, Joe? Hi, John Lawson. This is my first ever 5-team teaser. What do you think? Washington plus 18 and a half. Okay, let me read the other ones. Vikings plus 14. Dallas plus 3 over Green Bay. I like the Dallas plus 3. I love Seattle plus 10 and a half. Okay, KC 1.5. Yeah, I like that. The only one I would caution about is Washington, even though 18 and a half should have you sitting good. The Eagles aren't a good second half team normally because they have tons of leads. It is dangerous, but I do think the Commanders cover that. So I have no problems with it. The Hound, yo, brother, what do you think about the news of Kyler Murray being the game time decision? Cardinals are absolute trash, and I think even if Stafford doesn't play, the Rams win. Think it's worth putting a bet on the Rams. I was actually going back and forth on that on Thursday. Can you imagine how bad the Cardinals are going to be if Kyler Murray doesn't play? Can we imagine that? Like, can we imagine what Cliff Kingsbury is going to try to cook up? It's going to be absolutely insane, and I would go Rams. I don't know if I would bet it, but I think that favors the Rams. And at the very least, Stafford's in concussion protocol. That's easier to get out. Like Kyler Murray's injury, it actually looks serious. And we know once he gets dinged up, it's like a 2, 3, 4 week thing. So I would go Rams. Even if both are healthy, I would go Rams. This is from Benny G. Thank you for the super chat. I think that's Australian dollars. Wow, plenty thanks to your tip the last few weeks, mate. Money, money, money. Appreciate it, my guy. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Yeah, and Corey says Murray sucks anyways. I'm with you. Tony, where you been at, my man? What's up, Tony? Okay, Tony says no Simmons, Cunningham, Dupree, Hooker for the Titans. That's just great for my under 36 and a half. That's going to be good for the under. No, like, listen, man. Look at that Titans offensive team. Yeah, you did bad there. But look at that Titans offensive team. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run it some more, and then they're going to run it. And are we thinking Russ gets over 17 points? But that's absolute crazy injury report because none of those injuries were being talked about early in the week. From my understanding, correct? None of those Titans injuries were really being talked about earlier in the week. I knew Jeff Simmons was on watch, but I didn't know they were officially ruled out. Thank you, Tony. Gennaro Gonzalez. What's up, Gennaro? How do we find you on Instagram? Let me type it. Make sure you guys add me on Instagram. Here we go. Let me just put it up. Yeah, Lawson Bets NFL. Okay, here we go. This is from P. Can we pull the trigger on Tennessee now that's minus 2.5? What about New Orleans? Similar, bro. About Tennessee, I'm nervous about it because I didn't know the injury situation was that bad. I was monitoring the game early in the week, and then I just was like, I don't know, bro. Like I was thinking maybe I should just tease it because I think it's going to be a really low scoring game. But let's see what the Titans got. Okay, Tony was right. Zach Cunningham out, Bud Dupree out, Amani Hooker out, Jeff Simmons out. I mean, that's tough. We know the Broncos aren't any offensive juggernaut. We know they're not an offensive juggernaut, but damn, that's a lot of good players out. It's a ton of good players out. What about New Orleans? Similar, bro. I'm getting a little bit cool. I'll send you a message on WhatsApp later today because I got a lot to say about that. And there's one particular thing I need to check about that Saints game. I got a little bit nervous, man, with TJ Watt coming back, but at a certain point, how much difference is it going to make? This is from Kona, K-O-A-O-A. I love the name Kona. And this guy's awesome, man. He always has good information. Same with Pete, same with everyone on Patreon. Do you factor bye week trends into your handicapping? Saw this interesting info in an article. Using all data from the past 4 seasons, the records for favorites coming off bye week is as follows. All favorites, 56-13 straight up. 43-22 against the spread. Home favorites, 26-20 against the spread, 37-11 straight up. Road favorites, 19-2 straight up, 17-2 against the spread. I don't. I do think the bye week is a little bit overrated, but I think those metrics have weight. And the reason why I think they have weight is because teams get healthy. Like, you remember the 49ers off of their bye week? It wasn't because Shanahan cooked up new shit. It was because damn near half the defense was injured and they had offensive injuries. So we saw how the 49ers came off of that. That's a good example. And I do feel like the Cowboys got their bye week at the perfect time. I mean, this Cowboys it's getting to the point where it's just too perfect, especially with it moving down to -4. Yeah, man. Yo, Mike, how you been, man? Hello, John. I have been betting sports for 50 years. By far and above, this year has been totally different, crazy, unpredictable. Expect the unpredictable and unpredictable crazy. I agree. I've been doing a lot of research this week to make sure I'm up on everything going to the World Cup. I want to slay the World Cup this year. I slayed the last one. So I'm going to slay it, man. And because this NFL stuff, man, I love betting it and we're going to make money, but it's getting to the point where everything's counterintuitive. I feel like the more you break it down, the more it doesn't matter. Okay. Here we go. Okay. And appreciate it, Mikhail. Hi, John. Such a tough Sunday ahead. Would you take 10 or New York Giants as a survivor pick? Give me the Giants. I think the Giants win that game by a field goal. Jonathan Yin says, love the show. Thank you, my guy. Thank you, my guy. I appreciate it. I love getting on. This is my favorite show of the week, Friday night. T1 the Great, Cowboys, San Fran, Giants, Tennessee. What do you think about these picks, John? Lay off Tennessee with all these injuries. I didn't know the injury situation was this bad. I was just watching the Jeff Simmons injury, but this is absolutely heinous. With the Giants moving down, I could see it, but I would lay off of that one. San Fran Cowboys, I absolutely love. I absolutely love it. Alamo week. With Alamo week, we should add the Texans onto the Cowboys to go with the Texans theme. But we did see that drop down. Like, I love the Texans at +6.5. I almost posted it. Maybe I'll be tempted to post it once I see the injury report tonight. But damn, man, you saw how that I was talking about that all week. Then it fell down like a point. It just sucks. Moneyline repo. Alamo week, Lawson. Let's get it. Will your Vikings cover +17.5 this week? They will. You say you like the Lions, but will Bears cover 11? Bears will cover 11. Like this, the spread in this Bears-Lions game for me is perfect. If both teams show up, this game will be decided by a field goal. I was surprised though. I've been picking the Bears damn near every week, and now you guys are on the Bears bandwagon when I got absolutely ripped a new hole for picking Bears to cover against the Patriots. But yeah, we'll talk about that game. Speaking of the devil, let's get this money, Lawson. Can the Lions beat the Bears and can Houston cover 5.5? I think Giants win by a field goal. I mean, that's a thin ass margin, my man. But I wish you put that in earlier, but you can't control that, and it's dangerous with the way the injury situation has been. Um, Beat the Bears. I think the Lions can beat the Bears. Like, I think Lions are going to play good this game. And I think that I'm worried about this Bears defense. I mean, did anyone else watch some of the film they put forth? I mean, they played good against the Patriots. They were absolutely heinous against the Dolphins, and they were absolutely pathetic against the Cowboys. Then you take off maybe the two best players in the defense. Brisker is a damn good safety, but you take them off, and here's one player prop I like. Amon-Ra St. Brown, bet the over receptions, bet the over for him. I think he's going to go off. Mike, I think the Packers should trade Aaron Rodgers, my man. And Brian, thank you for that super chat, my man. And Adam, I will enjoy that Coca-Cola. Your super chat just vanished. Okay, I got it up now. I will. They're lowering the prices here, man. The prices are getting a little bit lower in Brazil now, so that'll buy me two at the moment. But yeah, man, Mike, I really think the Packers need to trade Aaron Rodgers out of respect. There seems to be a lot of bad blood there, but they should trade him. I felt like the Titans were the perfect destination for him this offseason, and it never matriculated. And I'm not understanding why Green Bay kept him if they were going to let Devontae Adams go and if they weren't going to bring in a legit receiver. I'm going to get some callers on. I'll be right back. Give me just the 50 seconds. Here we go. Let me get to my email and see who wants to come on. Appreciate it. Hit the like button. Help your boy out with the algorithm. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. We're back. Okay, we got Adam coming on. Lauren, let me know if you want to come on. Tony, I'm getting you on, man. Haven't seen you in a while, my man. Yo, what's up, my guy?
What's going on? What's going on, man?
Dude, how's everything with you, man?
It's getting cold now. Kansas City cold, windy cold. You know, we can't be rubbing the suntan and palm trees no more like you do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got pretty consistent weather. It's like 85 every single day. It's pretty good, man. But yeah, dude, winter, it builds character. So
it does. It toughens up your skin. I mean, listen, I don't know if I've told you this. You know, I graduated high school out in Sanborn, New York, right outside of Buffalo.
It's cold up there. Like, dude, Kansas City's nothing compared to that. So didn't know that.
Yeah, so I do know what cold is. But I think the fans are eager, man. Week 9, let's talk some football. My biggest bet, here we go, folks. I'm giving out a free play. Are you guys ready for this? Give me Tom Brady in Germany, international broadcasting. everybody was going to want Tom Brady to win, and he's going to win. And I think that win last Sunday against the Rams, this is the momentum that he's going to pick up to continue the season into the playoffs. And he's not losing Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. Well, it's 10 o'clock Eastern time, I think, the game.
Aren't you a little bit nervous about their run game? That's where I'm nervous. I want to see a resurgence, but aren't you getting frustrated watching like the 2-inch runs and they keep running it? Like they run it damn a lot. Like,
and what's his name? The runner, the running back.
Leonard Fournette.
Fournette. The guy is like built like Hulk. Like you should be able to carry 3-4 bodies and run with it. I don't know why he struggles to get like. It's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, and he can't even get a yard. And I'm like, man, if I had a body like you, I'd probably knock down a traffic light. You know?
Well, and then also like it just all starts with the offensive line, and I think they need to go to the backup, like you said, because they just don't got the offensive line to pound people, and that's what makes me nervous. Like I wanted to take this all week, then I'm like, all right, bro, I'm just going to the Seahawks. I'm getting in the fetal position. I'm accepting I was wrong, and I'm moving on.
Are you taking Seattle? Are you
yeah.
Seattle?
Yeah. I have to go with that.
Bad. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to you. I apologize. I don't like to pick against you in your own channel, man. That's bad business.
No. You can. No, you can. It's just for me, man. I'm extremely nervous about that game. Like I've listen. I don't got a good read on Tampa. I knew they were going to win against the Rams, but how likely was that win last week? Like it wasn't too likely if you weren't watching the game. You know what I'm saying?
I think we cut off a little bit. Did we cut off? I don't know if we cut off. But here's the deal.
I'll start again. Cosina says, let's get this money. Thank you for the super chat. Yo, but here's my thing. Yeah, dude, everyone comes on here and picks against me. My thing is like I'm nervous.
I don't want to do that, man, because it's I want your picks to go to the cat, and I want to pick. I didn't know. Do you have Seattle on your Patreon?
No. I'm putting those up tonight. Oh. I'm not putting them on. I've been actually going back and forth with it, but for me, it's a stay away at this point.
Okay, fair enough. That's gonna be my pick, man. Listen. I saw your first clip Monday for week 9. There's a lot of tricky lines, man. This is the week. It's like you're either going to have a good week or a bad week type of feeling. Is that what you're getting?
Dude, it's Alamo week. This is just straight trenches. Like I'm prepared to either be loved or destroyed this week. And because there's a lot of intuitions. Like for me, the Tampa game is an intuition. Like if they were able to run it more than 2 inches, I would be going full out. Just trench fire all day on the box because I get what you're saying. And Brady's playing good. He's playing good. And he's had the least time in the league to throw the ball. It gets like 2 seconds to throw it. It's just
you gotta get Lawson, you gotta get loud. When you mentioned Tom Brady, man, I need more energy than that, man. That's the GOAT. Listen, I just saw, do you know he's the number 2 passer out of all quarterbacks behind Mahomes with a 4-5 record? The guy is playing.
He's playing good, okay? And that's where that's why I can't argue you. And the Seattle defense, they've been good the last 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know how they're doing it, man. Like they brought Bruce Irvin off the street and he's getting speed rushing people. Maybe that's because the Cardinals suck. I mean, it helps getting to play them, but that one got me. I am never putting one of my dollars that I get paid on Arizona. Never again, man. I ain't doing it, man. I mean, that's a frustrating team, man. And their quarterback, have you seen the way he fumbles those balls when he's running with it on the sideline? It's like he can't even get a grip of the football when he's running, man. No, that's when I knew the game was over. They were going down to score before the end of the first half, and then he fumbled with barely getting touched. That's when I knew it was over, and I fucked up.
Yeah, that's you could tell. You know, when you're watching certain games, and then within the first few minutes, you know this game is over. Like you just fucking know it, man. You know.
But I gotta be honest. To go back to your point, because Ron Wills just laid a comment down. I do think the NFL, the officiating, they'll be very active in this Buccaneers game. Now, I don't get into the conspiratorial stuff, but some games they're active, some games they're not. I think they're going to be very active because you want Tom Brady to go off on this stage, and if you just give him a little bit of help, he's going to go off. So,
and he's in Germany, and we're not talking about domestic media. We're talking about international media out there, okay? And you know how much it took the league to be convinced and like to get authorization for Tampa Bay to go out and play in Germany? Like that stuff, a lot of the fans don't know, but that's a lot of work behind the scenes. And just imagine the Michael Jordan in the 90s going playing a legit, huge, valid game, because if the Buccaneers lose Sunday, that could be their season.
Oh, okay. It could be, although that division is trash. But yeah, hypothetically, like if they don't play good, like they're not going to get better. This is the turning point.
Exactly. So this is why watching Brady for 20 some years, he's in Germany. This is the first game ever. I'm dumping if I have to dump money on a situation where there's conspiracy behind it, where there's a must win behind it, when there's an angry, passionate, and a happy Tom Brady. If you saw him after the game, the guy was happy. Anyhow, that's my pick, man. I do like Kansas City 9.5 against Jacksonville. Do you think Jacksonville can come out here in the cold and score some points? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Like Jacksonville's been moving the ball really well. My issue with this game is, the Jacksonville Jags, they got dogs in the pass rush. Yeah, they can't cover anyone. And that they'll have phases of games. Like they'll have a good quarter and a half, 2 quarters, no pass rush, and they can't cover anyone. I mean, like I've been saying all week, but I'll say it again. They gave up 400 yards to fucking Matt Ryan and blew a 10-pointer to him. So I like the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs
Here's another statistics for football. The Chiefs, I don't think they've covered the spread in the last 5 games. So we'll see if he covers. But I'm excited, man. I'm actually going to drive about 20 minutes to a casino here. They got the sports book, and I want to sit down and watch the morning game, like a Vegas style. But let's see, man. I'm excited.
Are you going Cowboys? Did I talk you into that?
Oh, man. Listen, Tampa Bay scenario is like Green Bay scenario. They're at home. I don't know why you're not talking about Aaron Rodgers owns the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas struggles up there, man. It's like they're cursed. And if there is a game for Rodgers to show up, I don't want it against the bet. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Oh, yeah, but there's still limited options this week. And like, I don't want to bet against Aaron Rodgers. Like, for me, the bet's not about him.
Correct. Dallas will win this. Dallas will win this if Prescott doesn't go crazy with turnovers. Is that fair?
If Dak Prescott churns it over like 2 times, then Cowboys will probably lose. But the Packers, like listen, Dobbs is out. Sammy Watkins looks like he's not going to play. Lazard has that shoulder injury. I just don't know who the hell they're going to throw to. Like Robert Tonyan, and after that, no one can catch. And even when they're all healthy, no one's getting separation. And I don't know how much of the Packers you've been watching, but they are actually getting worse, my friend.
Like, they are.
Yeah. Like that's where I'm at. Like, because I get what you guys are saying about the situation and the rendezvous of this game. I get it. Like, dude, I don't like betting Dallas on the road, but at a certain point, like this Packers defense, they can't stop the run. Best defensive player out. At a certain point, I gotta just go in on it. But I get it, man. Aaron Rodgers is awesome. He's gonna go somewhere next year and be awesome. So
You know what? I do like the over in the Dallas game. I don't know why. I think it's 44. I like the over on that game.
You got to think Rodgers could get his 17 to 20 points.
So
Yeah.
listen, man, we're gonna need some sports gambling gods on our side this weekend.
Oh.
I don't want you on Monday morning saying you lost everything and you had to sell those chains you be wearing.
Oh, dude, no. Dude. One guy on Patreon wrote, Lawson, I need a good week this week or I'm going to lose my apartment. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, wow.
Like, come on. Come on. Like, okay, this is a thing where we have to roll a dice or two. We have to just boom, boom, boom. Sometimes, like, damn, man. Like, why even put that in my head? I don't know if he was half fucking with me or making a joke or like, I don't know.
You know what? I fucking lose when I gamble under pressure. I can't hit nothing, man. When I'm relaxed and I'm not under the pressure, I must win. That's when I win. It's weird. It's a weird. Let's see what happens.
Your game of the week has been pretty good this year. I think you're like 4-2 when you came on here and made a shot.
I am. But I have taken an L the last 2 weeks. 2 times I've been on your channel, which one time I took the Raiders and then Arizona. But before that, I went on a 4-0. We're switching this out. Skip Bayless always says, man, if there's one man I do not bet against on Sunday, it is Thomas, blah, 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 Brady. So
before you go, let me just tell you something. Just to get your opinion on this.
Yeah.
Would you? What do you think about the Raiders this week? Down to -4. This Jeff Saturday fiasco. Okay, Waller, Renfro, they're out for the rest of the season, I think. But the Raiders can't squeeze this one out. Are we crazy enough to dip back in here?
I actually love your question because today I logged on FanDuel and I kept staring at that game. Like that game was staring at me and I was staring at it right in the eyes. And I started cursing my cell phone. I said, you know how much money I would have had if those Raiders would have showed up when I needed them? But scared money doesn't win you money. And I'll be damned if I think the Raiders win Sunday, man. I think we're just scared to pick them.
Yeah, I'll send you a message on Instagram, but yeah, dude, like this is Alamo week for a reason. Like,
listen, if I'm putting 200, I'm just playing with a number. I'm probably gonna put 500 on the Buccaneers. That's the personal information I'm sharing. 500 on Tampa, man. Thanksgiving is coming, and I got to go to Virginia. I'm trying to have Vegas pay for my gas money.
Let's see. They're due to pay out something because I think last week, if I read correctly, was their biggest profit week of the year.
God damn. Anyhow, man, but I might sprinkle if I'm putting 500 on Tampa Bay and they win, I'll do 10% of my winnings on, let's say, the Raiders. That's $50. Hell with it. You know?
Yeah, the early game. Better get the coffee going, get up early. That's going to be a sweater, bro. But you like the sweater. So the biggest sweater this year was Pat Steelers. So, man, this one might beat it.
And that's why I buy a lot of Old Spice, man. That shit, I'd be sweating. Let's make the money, folks. Have a good weekend, Lawson. And, man, Brazil. You know, I got money. I'm going to one day get a sign that says Brazil.
Oh, you should. Patriotism.
All right, brother. Have a good one, man. Say hi to the family.
All right. Thank you. I will. Yo, have a great week, man. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's get to some questions. Wade Ford says, what's up, Lawson? Do you think the Colts can get it going against the Vegas Raiders? I don't think so. Like, Raiders have a bad defense. We know that, especially a bad second half defense. But I'm looking at how bad Sam Ellinger has played, and I'm looking at this circuit circus of Jeff Saturday. Maybe it's just me trying to be superior and think I'm smarter than Jim Irsay. But this Jeff Saturday thing, I think that's got to hurt the team. And this Colts defense did everything for this Colts team to cover last week against the Pats. And Sam Ellinger couldn't even complete a pass. And now that it's down to -4, okay, I know Renfro and Waller are out, but you still got Mac Hollins and you got Devontae Adams who went off last week, and you got a pretty good run attack. I think the Raiders can grind this out. I actually think this is a good matchup for the Raiders. Now, could the Colts get the run game going? Maybe. That would be the one thing that could change this game and give me a little bit of fear, but I would not go that far. What's up, Mike? How you doing, Mike? Hope everything's good with you, my man. Okay. Here we go. Pringle, let's go Cowboys. Yeah, man, I haven't seen you in a while, but yeah, Cowboys is the trench dig this week. I'm buried in this trench. For me to make it out of the trench, Cowboys got to win, man. Hey, what's up, my guy? What's up, Lawson? Teaser question for you. Chiefs -2.5. I like it. Chargers +14. I wouldn't go there. I'm surprised knowing you. I feel like you would lay off that game. But Chargers +14, Commanders +17.5, Steelers +9.5, Iowa State. I have no idea about Iowa State. Steelers +9.5 for me is perfect. I would maybe add the Broncos on that teaser. I've been liking them as in this teaser spot all week, even though they absolutely suck. I don't know how early you came into the show, but we were talking about Tennessee's injuries. Tannehill's still banged up. 4 or 5 good defensive players out. I can't hate the methodology of Chargers +14, but I don't think I would leave them there. I'm nervous about San Fran going off, and there's a lot of things with the Chargers I don't like. Knowing this year Chargers come out and win by 10 with how crazy this year has been, but I don't know. I feel like 49ers are getting going, and I feel like Herbert has no help, absolutely no help. Sounds good. Yeah, she says she's going to come on in 20 minutes. So I'm going to answer questions and send me an email. I think I got your email up already. So, okay, here we go. And Tony, I sent one out to you if you want to come on, if you're still watching. Stay away from the Colts game. Makes sense. Money. What's up, Big D? Nice to see you, my guy. Hope everything's good with you. Okay, let's get to, and if I missed your question earlier in the show, let me know. I'm going to get to see if I missed any Patreon questions. Okay, let's get it. Lino Frosto, where would Rodgers win a Super Bowl like Brady did? I could see if he went to Tennessee, I could see them winning a Super Bowl next year. And you would think the Titans would splash and get another wide receivers. Where else would he? I actually have a dark horse for Aaron Rodgers next year. My dark horse is the Washington No Names. Maybe they're getting a new owner. New owner wants to make a splash. You got Terry McLaurin. You got Curtis Samuel. Offensive line sucks. You got 2 decent running backs. You got a really good front 7, although they can't cover anyone in the back end. I could actually see that being a dark horse. Could they win the Super Bowl? I don't know. They're going to need to get better players in some positions, especially the offensive line. Also, I wouldn't rule out San Francisco next year getting a Brady, getting a Rodgers. I think they're going to be done with Trey Lance. And if they cut bait on Trey Lance, I wouldn't blink an eyelash. Yeah, Deli D, I'm really liking the 49ers this week. And then to get better news on top of it, no Keenan Allen, no Mike Williams. And has it just been you? Like, we were always a channel that didn't like Brandon Staley, but I feel like they've done a horrible job this year. Brandon Staley, I don't think he's a bad defensive coach, but having Mike Lombardi as your offensive coordinator is absolutely hurting and destroying Justin Herbert. It's been ugly. There's lots of checkdowns. He's the new checkdown Charlie in the league. And I don't even think it's Herbert's fault. It's just, if I feel like the San Fran offensive line is going to destroy this Chargers defensive line. I don't know how much you guys have been watching the Chargers, but I feel like their front seven gets pushed around more every single week. The last time I think I've seen their front seven play good run defense was against the Broncos, and the Broncos can't run it against anyone. That's where I'm at, man. Okay, here we go. Okay, good. Okay. A-Rod would never go to that organization. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if you've been following the arc of Aaron Rodgers these last 2 years. Like, he doesn't mind being a heel. And like, that man has changed. Okay. What's the college game everyone's saying? Now that I get time to look at the live chat, what's this college fun college game everyone's talking about? Yeah, John, I think it would be a great fit. He's from there originally. That's where Brady wanted to go, and for some reason it didn't happen. But yeah, man, it would be great for Rodgers. Like, that would be where he would win a Super Bowl. It's going to be hard to get him. But I wouldn't rule the 49ers out. What did you guys think of the Jeff Saturday? What did you guys think of the Jeff Saturday hire? Yeah, Lauren, are you coming on? Michael Mann, are you coming on? If not, if not, I'm probably gonna call it early night. Okay, here we go. Houston, I like versus Temple. Okay. Who's Notre Dame playing? And betting on Duke, that's ballsy. Okay, Michael Zhang, Lawson, make sure all your viewers know Tulane is the college football game of the year. Tulane football. Let's see who they're playing. They're playing UCF. Okay, what's the spread? Who's laying the points? That's what I want to know. Got you, Tasha. Let me see. I think I missed some more Patreon questions, so I think I got some Patreon questions. Okay, this is from Wade Ford. What's your opinion with my? Okay, Wade Ford says, "Lawson, buddy, what's up? I believe the Colts can pull off the win in Vegas. Colts defense can play ball, and the missing link has been the O-line. I believe they get it together this week with Taylor coming back and pull off the Saturday upset. Saturday, damn it." Yeah, if they can get their offensive line together, they could pull off the upset. But also on the converse side, if Josh McDaniels loses this game, I think he's going to lose his job. I think it pretty much comes down to that. Like, I know no one's been talking about that, and I know Josh McDaniels has a massive contract, but if he loses, I think he's out. That's where I'm at with it. And with the Colts, you're 100% right, Wade. Their defense has been good. I actually liked them against the Patriots last week. I didn't think Sam Ehlinger would play good, but I thought he would play a little bit better than that. That kid was absolutely terrible. And that defense played good and put them in position to win, and yet that offense couldn't do anything. The Raiders defense is pretty weak, but I do feel like this Patriots defense is overrated. We've seen them give up 30 spots to the Bears, and we've seen them get torn up by other teams. Yeah, man. So like a lot of things got to change, and a week isn't a lot of time. And I do wonder how the team feels about getting Saturday. I like we haven't seen this in a long time. I can't remember the last time we've seen someone get a job from outside the organization. Okay, let's see. I added Lauren to the show. It's given like a loaded signal. Oh, it loaded up.
What's up?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
So what's going on this week? Who you like this week?
It's ugly. It's real ugly.
Like this week.
It's really ugly. I like Jacksonville.
Yeah, no, tell us why you like Jacksonville.
You know, the Chiefs are coming off a shorter week. And I think they played Monday, right? They played the night game Monday night. And so they have kind of a shorter week. They're not going to be overly exhausting themselves to prepare for Jacksonville, I wouldn't think. They just played Tennessee last week. Pretty sure they're playing the Chargers next week. There's a lot of that look ahead stuff. You know what I mean? And Jacksonville can score. You know, they're going to give it up too, but they can score. So I think it's 9.5, whatever it is. Right. So I'm on the points for that.
Yeah. Well, I want to see maybe if people figured it out, figured the Chiefs out like last year. But I'm worried about this Jags secondary, and I don't understand why the pass rush isn't more consistent. For me, they've been the most puzzling team this year. There's been tons, but they've been really puzzling this year. They should be in contention for the AFC South, and I don't know what they're doing. But 9.5 is a lot of points. I see where you're going.
While we're talking about Jacksonville, I like Christian Kirk for over receiving yards. So
oh yeah, that's the prop of the week.
Yeah, definitely. Sure.
Hey Lauren, your internet's giving out.
Oh, hang on a second. Let me try something else.
Sounds good. Yeah, like for
there we go.
One prop I wrote down was I really like Christian McCaffrey. Just over the total yardage. I saw he had a total yardage one of combined yards. I like that one because I think they're going to run the rock a ton as well.
Yeah, I think so. I also like Nick Chubb for over. I think it's 85 yards.
Makes sense. Yeah, so what other games you like?
I mean, I'm still in my Survivor, if you can believe that. Yeah.
What's up, Mike? Yeah, so
Michael.
Yeah, so let's talk some football.
Yeah, what game y'all want to hit first?
Yeah, like I'm asking Lauren, and she's kind of she doesn't seem like she's in it this week. She seems like
I'll tell you guys
the NFL got to her.
I broke one of our rules last night, Lawson, and I actually put money on my own team, and I actually got a good payout from it.
Yeah, man. I gotta tell you, man. Lauren, I'm just gonna mute you until your internet gets a little bit better.
Yeah, let me try.
Oh, sounds good. Yeah, I actually can't mute her. Okay. So live TV. It's getting better now. So let's go. Yeah, man. I don't know if there's any science for batting the Panthers. I got to be completely honest. Like, I don't know, but it's good you won though.
No.
Is this better?
Little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it was? Like, I thoroughly thought after the first game, like, I did exactly what you said not to do, and I kind of rewatched the first game. And I remember at the time, after rewatching it on Wednesday, I was like, the Panthers should have won that game by 10, 14 points easily, and they kind of just, intercepted and missed field goal their way to a loss. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, this game's at home. It's on prime time. The Panthers just got blown out. They've shown the ability to be resilient and come back. So therefore, I feel good about putting money on this. And I did, and it actually paid out pretty good for me.
Yeah, man.
That's like the first time in years I've bet on my own team and actually been rewarded for it.
Yeah, man. I mean, that Panthers defense played good. It's just, yeah, these Thursday night games, they're tough to predict, man. And I feel like Al Michaels is dead. Like, I feel like he dreads going to these games. But, man, I don't know what's going on with the Falcons. Like, a lot of people had them as, like, the worst team going into this year, and then they started covering every spread. But maybe they're going back to that. But, yeah, Panthers are going to keep winning, man. So
bad for the last month. Like, if you look at their games, they lost to the Chargers. They just got their butt kicked by us. They lucked into beating us, and they got destroyed by the Bengals. They are trending down fast.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and like the whole thing is they got, for me, one last thing on the Falcons. I really think, man, they got to go to Desmond Ridder and they got to cut bait this year.
No, for sure. Yeah. I don't know what the heck Mariota was doing last night.
Yeah. Man. Okay, Lauren, you're back.
Lauren, did you watch the game last night?
Yeah, of course I watched the game last night. What are my thoughts?
Yeah.
Atlanta's the most bipolar team in the freaking NFL.
Yeah, they did not look good. Mariota had a really bad game. He should have had 4 interceptions easily.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Cordell Patterson comes back from injury last week and looks like, never missed a beat.
Oh. He had 5 carries total in the game. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, he did terrible for my fantasy league. Absolutely terrible. And then Mariota's running for his life. So that was terrible. It was just awful. I don't like Thursday games to begin with, but you cap it with an Atlanta team that's, as bipolar as they are.
No, but it's really bad. And those games are getting really low ratings. The Texans Eagles had 7 million viewers. That's really low for the NFL. And I don't blame people because Mike, that's your team, but it's tough to watch, man. But when they let PJ Walker finally throw it, it looked good. But that whole first half, man, was bad. But let's get to a game. So what do you guys think? Say that again.
I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, they were running the football. So
yeah, Foreman looked like a stud last night.
Yeah, he looked amazing. But Lawson, go ahead.
So yeah, let's go to the Cowboys game.
Oh God.
Yeah. Let me just answer this super chat. What you think about Lions and Minnesota money line? I'm not convinced Josh Allen's sitting out this game, but it's not looking good. I think Minnesota could beat Case Keenum, but let's remember Minnesota's a very weak 7-1, kind of like when the Packers were 13-3. I'm excited about Kevin O'Connell, but maybe let's put a little bit of water on the fire, Zamora. And the Lions, I think the Lions win the game. There isn't a lot of science. I think the Bears defense without Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn is worse. So I want to get your guys' opinion on the Cowboys -5.
I'm with you. I agree with what, pretty much everything you've said so far. I mean, people are saying that the Packers need to win this game. If there's ever a time for them to get their stuff together, it's now. But if you look at the matchups on Green Bay's offensive side of the ball, there's just nothing there. Receivers aren't going to get open. They're not going to be able to block. and they're not going to be able to run the ball. So I just don't see the formula for Green Bay to move the ball on offense. And on the other side, it's like, okay, Zeke and Tony Pollard are going to wear down this Green Bay front seven. It's just hard to find a formula to victory for Green Bay when you look at all these factors.
I have a different opinion.
Okay,
I mean,
go on.
I know Dallas is the better team, but I'm going to tell you right now, giving Aaron Rodgers 5 points at home in Lambeau, they gave him 10 points on the road in Buffalo. He covered. I can't go against that. I mean, I know I'm going to be way, way, way against everybody, the public and whoever else. Everyone's going to be all over Dallas. And if I were to take it, though, I'm on the Green Bay side. Somehow they can stay close, maybe even win. Might be an upset.
I think they're going to get
but that's where I get it. Like, I feel like with the Cowboys-Packers game, like, we're not even talking football anymore. Like, we're just talking like, oh, Lambeau Field is cold. When if you look at how you play in cold weather, Cowboys do all those things. And then, like, we think Aaron Rodgers magic. Like, I don't get it. Like, if there's a thing that's going to happen, that's fine. Like, has anyone seen any signs from the Packers? Like, and maybe every time the great Cowboys run it on 1st and 10, they get a hold call, so it's 1st and 20. But outside of that, I don't see, man. I'm just trying to get like a football reason.
Yeah, I know they got a really good defense, so I would stick obviously with probably an under. I don't know what the hell it is, but Green Bay's defense isn't terrible either. But I think that this is a game that Aaron Rodgers wants to shut up the public. He wants to shut up the press. He wants to make a statement. So, that whole that line of 5 just is a little awkward to me, and it feels very trappy. So they could get blown out. I mean, they could get blown out. But if there were going to be an upset this week, that's the one I would. That's the one that I would mark down.
I don't know. I'm on the Texans if there's an upset for this week.
The Texans?
That's who I'm
yeah.
on. They lost handily, but they put up a fight against Philadelphia. And I don't think the Giants are talented enough to absolutely just obliterate them. So, they get a bounce or two to go their way in the fourth quarter, and they could pull this out.
I agree. And if you look at Giants games, a lot of them are field goal games, and that's kind of how they play. They pull away in the second half. And then, I actually like the Texans running the ball. Giants have been really good on defense. Let's give them credit. But I think it's better to run it against them than throw it with all their blitzes, especially with Davis Mills. Yeah, I do think the Texans are probably the upset this week, or the Lions, although Lions isn't a big upset.
I don't think the Lions are going to win this week. I think their offense has fallen out of whack the last couple of weeks.
They played good last week. They pulled up, so they were
scored
upset
like
last
15
week.
points though. So everyone's anticipating this kind of being a shootout, which with the way that Chicago has played the last couple of weeks, I think that's fair. If this game gets into the 20s and 30s, and I have to pick an offense to make a play, I'm going with Chicago all the way right now. Because Detroit, they did not look good against Green Bay on offense. They didn't look good against Dallas. They didn't look good they looked okay against Miami. But the point is, this Lions offense has been trending down the last few weeks, while Chicago has been trending up. And they've barely found ways to lose these games. I just feel like they're due for a win, and I think they're going to get it against the Lions.
Can someone explain to me why they think Cleveland's going to beat Miami?
Yeah, that's the one thing. No, like they're 2 years late to us making money on Cleveland, and they haven't realized that train's long left the station. And that's what I'm saying. Yes, we made a lot of money the last 2.5 years betting Cleveland in situations like this, and it was beautiful and it was easy. But for me, I guess the only reason is this Miami run defense is absolutely garbage, right? But still, this is kind of getting to like what Mike's logic was. Okay, this game's going to turn into a shootout. Who would you rather have, Tyreek Hill and Tua, or who the Browns have? And I would go Dolphins. So I agree with you. And I've been tempted to bet this all week just to fade everyone, but it's going to take some cojones.
I don't have any desire to touch Cleveland this week.
I think if you're Cleveland, you're just saying like, okay, we just need to get a win to keep us in the fight until Deshaun gets here, and then hope he pulls off a miracle.
There's no way. There's no. I don't care.
Yeah,
Cleveland. They have disappointed way 1, 2, 3, 4 too many times this year for me to back them. That's at least my opinion.
And the Bengals don't show up one game, so instantly the Browns are back.
Yeah. No, I don't agree with that at all. So I think Miami's hot right now. You got to ride that hot hand, and they're definitely a hot team right now. And yes, I know everyone's asking me about the Saints in Pittsburgh, the battle of black and gold. We are black and gold. They are black and yellow. Hell, I don't know. If we're gonna win, it's like probably gonna be against Kenny Pickett.
I said you guys both look like boogers, if you ask me.
Yeah,
I don't
we
like
are both
either y'all.
pretty trash. We're both pretty trash. I do think that Watt comes back, right? So that could be interesting. I think that Jarvis Landry is coming back, hopefully. I think the Saints, if they're going to squeak out a win, it's going to be against this rookie kid. But hell, I wouldn't. I don't know.
Do you think Pittsburgh Jesus. Do you think the Steelers are actually going to be able to move the ball?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, the Saints defense, you want to talk about another bipolar. Against the Vegas, they looked like, the 85 Bears. And then last week, Lord only knows. So our defense is still good. Najee Harris has been very irrelevant all year to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
So I wouldn't make any type of assumption that they're going to be running it down the Saints' throats. And I'm not saying that because I'm a homer. They just haven't. Najee Harris has been obsolete against everybody for the first 10 weeks, 9 weeks, or whatever.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
I don't, he's done nothing. Claypool's gone. So, that opens up things for Deontay Johnson, obviously, and George Pickens. I think if Lattimore comes back, though, I think it'll be tough for this rookie to make some play.
I saw that he was out, but I think Jarvis Landry's back in. So
yeah, and I think with Jarvis
made a really good point. Like Steelers are coming off a bye week; they're giving Tomlin an extra week to prepare, which is not.
I don't care.
At their end
the bye means nothing to me. I don't think anybody
with a good
the bye to me has been the bye to me has not proven any advantage in my opinion. Just in my opinion, especially with the Steelers, they're so. And then if Pickett goes south, you'll see Mitch. I think you know what I mean. He'll play round robin. I don't really, you know what I mean. I don't think they both have good defenses, especially if Watt comes back. That'll be really good for them. But if they can get some balls to Olave, Jarvis Landry, if Kamara can get his game going, because there's no run game in Pittsburgh, none. So I feel like that's where you're gonna, you'll see a strength in Kamara. I just don't know. I mean, our Andy Dalton can be a superstar and can be a dumpster fire. So I would think that they're better at least than the second string Pittsburgh team. So.
Dude, after the Raiders game, I was convinced that y'all were gonna win the division, and then I saw.
Didn't it look like it, right? Didn't it look like it?
Because I think the Bucks lost bad that week too, and so did we. But then I saw what y'all did against the effing Ravens, and
terrible.
Now I think I don't know who's gonna win it now, but
I don't know. I mean, whoever it is, it's a losing record. I mean,
sure.
Whoever wins is not going to have any type of, win. Now. Someone just said Andy Dalton hurt his back. Does that mean is Famous Jameis back? If Famous Jameis is back, then maybe I mean, you need to see, to be honest with you, like they need to just start running down the throats of Taysom Hill. They need to play Taysom Hill up the front, throw it, catch it, be very, gadgety with him, because that's how they win. Every game that he has some type of, insane catch, throw, pass, runs, they win. So
who
why
are
we're
you
not?
betting? Because no one really has a read on this game. So it's just.
I would say
I'm picking the Saints, but I don't feel good about it at all.
I'm taking the Saints.
So who would you bet this week if you had to bet a game?
And I'll tell you right now, no Josh Allen. I'm on Buffalo.
If you were
I don't care if he plays or not.
Dude, if you were one of those like betting demons who was able to get Giants at Texans when it was like -6, I think it's down to like -4.5 now or -4. But if you got that bet in early, good for you, because I think that's going to come through.
Yeah, that's why I do the show on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I can't believe that moved down that much, but it makes sense because the Giants are a field goal team. But yeah, let's get to that Bills game.
So what is the line on the Bills? What is the line on the Bills game right now?
It's -3.5 last time I checked. Let me bring it up.
I'm not touching that Bills game, regardless. If we don't know the state of Josh Allen, if he's going to play, if he does play, how hurt is he? And when you have that's deciding who wins or loses, you can't touch it.
It's down to -3 on a lot of books.
Yeah, I'm all over the Bills. Those teams, when you have a star out, whether it's a quarterback or receiver, look what Dallas did with freaking Cooper Rush. Let's not get carried away here. So that team will play up when they're missing somebody, right? So I think that you will see that team 3. If it's down to 3, I am all over Buffalo still. I don't care if Josh Allen's playing or not. And I usually love backing Minnesota when they're underdogs, right? Lawson, you know that. I love backing Minnesota when they're underdogs. In fact, 90% of the time that I'm right, it's when I'm playing Minnesota, guys, honestly. So if I'm on the other side, especially if it's at 3 and Josh Allen still has a chance to play, I'm definitely all over that.
Well, and here's one thing I keep hearing about the talk. A lot of it is saying Case Keenum's terrible. Like, okay, he had a terrible game against the Colts in preseason, but he actually isn't that bad a backup. I can't think of too many backups better than him. Not that it makes anyone comfortable betting that, but I think Minnesota could be a trap. And Vikings, you got to think they're due to lose a game.
It's the Case Keenum Bowl. He came from Minnesota. Remember that.
Yeah.
So it's the Case Keenum Bowl, guys. I'm telling you right now, they'll have some ways to use their new running back from Indy that they got. What's his face? From Indianapolis.
Naheem Hines.
Yeah,
Hines. They'll find a way to utilize him. They'll make stuff happen. I don't care I don't care if it's down to 3 and Josh Allen still has a chance to play. And even if he doesn't, I still like it. And yes, Minnesota is probably the worst 7-1 or 8-1 or whatever the hell they are, 9-1. I don't know what they are anymore. One loss team, but they're the worst one-loss team we have probably, I think.
Weren't the Giants 6-1 for a while?
They've lost 2 games.
Yeah, now they've lost 2, but they were 6-1 at one point. They were pretty. No business being 6-1. Minnesota's had like some credibility and is consistently playing well in some areas. The Giants.
Did you see Minnesota up against Philly's defense?
Was
horrible.
That was like week 2 of the season.
Okay, so that's probably the best team they've played, obviously, right?
True.
And I think they scored 7 points.
Yeah, they did.
So you want to put them up against? They barely walked out of Washington with a win.
Yeah, but consistency in this year's NFL, I don't know who has it. Eagles,
especially
Bills aren't even consistent. Bills got did by Zach Wilson.
They sure did, didn't they?
Yeah.
And what do you think is going to happen this week?
Yeah,
you think they'll lose 2 in a row?
Josh Allen going to play? That's what it comes down to, really.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
3 points. 3 points. The Bills defense can make plays. to make it to cover 3 points, even if Josh Allen's not there. Case Keenum's not a bad backup. And again, he came from Minnesota. So I'm not buying that Minnesota's going to go into Buffalo and win at all.
What's the weather looking like in Buffalo too?
I don't know. Let's see. Lawson's usually got somebody for that, right?
There used to be a
Yeah, we got our weather.
but yeah, like I don't know, like yeah, the Bills Vikings probably shouldn't be bad.
I like the Raiders this week, and I never liked them.
I do love the Raiders this week.
I would like the Raiders, but I mean that team is just so good at choking away wins that like
Terrible.
they should be able to pick this week. But with how bad they've been at times, like you can't do it. You can't pull that trigger.
I know. Like I want to take them. I want to take them as my survivor, and it makes my skin crawl.
Yeah.
Because I really want to take. I really want to take San Francisco, but something about that screams scary.
Oh, you're just fading me. Like, come on, like San Fran's gonna win that game.
I think so too.
Like,
I think so too. I just don't want to. On a survivor, I just don't want to play the night game. I want to get it over with. So that's why I'm like, that's why I'm.
Good time to have San.
Not because I don't think they're going to win. Yeah, I definitely think San Fran's going to win. But I just I get nervous with taking a primetime survivor, So, but I'm going to probably have to. There's really there's nobody else.
But yeah, for the Raiders, don't we have to fade the Jeff Saturday thing a little bit?
Yeah, I don't. That's the most awkward shit I've ever seen. I mean, this guy's going to come in here. We're not going to. I mean, so weird. The whole thing is awkward to me. I don't even understand it. That team still have. I don't know.
How do you feel?
I don't know.
How do you feel?
I have no words. I have no words for this.
If you're a player on the Colts and you're playing your heart out, and then they come in and bring in a guy who is just another former player, who, granted, he was a really good player, but still, he's had nothing to do with this organization for almost 10 years, and now he's your head coach. Like, he didn't come to training camp. He didn't go through any OTAs, hasn't seen a single practice, and now this guy's, like, calling the game for you. Like, that, I mean.
You couldn't find any other player? That's what I'm saying. That's gonna be. You couldn't find anybody else? Like, nobody? So, I mean.
I'm curious.
If it weren't for ESPN, some people wouldn't even know who this guy is.
Eric, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, hit the like button, smash the like button. Yeah, and like this week, but yeah, like for me, man, like the Raiders, I have to play them this week. I'm still thinking about it because like Lauren, I saw it today and I was like, okay, I have to do this. And then I sat through the Patriots Colts last week. Now I know this league is like 180, like Panthers play good last night. They get damn near did by Cincy, more than 30 points. Like usually it's contrary to logic, but I'm looking at that game. Okay, Renfro out, Waller out, but I don't care because like I actually think Matt Collins has been better than both of those guys this year. Is that an indictment on Josh McDaniels? I'm not sure, but I'm just looking at it like I'm going to have to do it. And then also,
Renfro's out?
Yeah, they're out for the year. They haven't done anything, unfortunately, this whole year.
I didn't know Renfro was out for the year.
Yeah, well, it was announced today. Everyone thought they would both be back, and then they just shut them down for the year. But I do have a question for you guys. Do you think if Josh McDaniels loses this game, do you think Al Davis's son will fire Josh McDaniels this early?
I mean, he should be, yeah. There's no excuse to lose this game if you're the Raiders. I mean, if you lose this game, like that is purely that's clearly an indictment that you're being outcoached.
Is that a bet that we can make? Is that out there? Will he lose his job?
Yeah, well, they do, Lauren. They actually do. They have next head coach to be fired.
Dude, you can bet the coin flip.
It probably will be.
I mean, seriously, if you can bet the coin flip, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't know. He came in last year when all that Gruden stuff happened and whatever, and was the miracle guy, but
Which that was kind of BS, by the way.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not. They're firing people more and more during the middle of the season now than they ever have. In my case in point, Carolina.
Hey,
You know,
thank God.
thank God. You're still waiting for Sam Darnold to come back. I know.
No,
So,
the Panthers looks like so much better since we got rid of Matt Rule. It's not even funny.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that, quite frankly, if he loses his job, it's justified. They can't. Whoever the defense is, that's who needs to lose their job. The defensive coordinator is the one that needs to lose their job because they're putting up points. They're just not stopping anybody, and they're not finishing. So you might as well take the defensive coordinator with you. You know what I mean? So get rid. I would say, one hand deserves the other. Like, you might as well get rid of them both.
Yeah. All right. So anyone have any last words? Any other games you really liked this week?
I have a question for you, Lawson.
Yeah.
So, okay, I know you picked the Seahawks. You're picking the Seahawks to beat the Bucks. How confident are you in that? Like, we're both rooting for Seattle, obviously. I'm not really feeling.
Is that the Germany? That's the Germany game, right?
Yes, it's in.
Yeah.
Who knows what could happen? I don't feel comfortable picking Seattle, but you seem to be. So I'm curious to know what your reasoning is behind this.
God, I hope so. Kenneth Walker, reason number one.
I'm not too confident, but the more Mike, here's my main problem with the Bucks, and you saw it firsthand when they played the Panthers. Now, Panthers, you might have an excuse because Derek Brown's really good, but Brian Leftwich said this, I think last week. He said, we're going to keep running it, and we're going to run it to run it. So pretty much my main issue with the Bucks is running it up the middle for 1 or 2 inches. I don't think I'm exaggerating. Am I exaggerating?
No, you're not. And the Buccaneers are really the one team. I know we're all fans of running the ball here, but I think we could all agree the Buccaneers are the one team who we'd probably sign off if they said we're going to go full air raid, because that's what they need to do.
They have to. And that offensive line isn't good enough. Brady will take the hits. He's actually taken quite a few this year. He will do it. But, like, some of the hits he took against the Panthers are just ridiculous.
I think Giselle divorced him.
Yeah, no, but she seriously just didn't want him to do this. And with this offensive line, with all these starters going down early in the year, maybe she was correct. Although, he's still really good at football. But when I look at the Seahawks, listen, this year's been so crazy. But we have to just look at what happened this year. Geno Smith, he's been a top 5 guy. I know it sounds ridiculous. I'm not trying to even sell that to anyone, but we were talking about that a few weeks ago. When is it going to fall off? I don't think he falls off. And my big problem with the Seahawks were it's 2 things. This offensive line, they're blocking. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're blocking. Their run game's really good. And also their defense. Remember how bad that defense was? I'll leave it over to you guys, but remember how bad that defense was the first 3-4 weeks? I mean, they've been playing good, man. And I'm not even taking the Cardinals game in this equation.
Dude, the Seahawks are just what happens when you have an A+ draft class. I mean, those 2 dudes on the O-line are just killing it for them. And I know
that's the Jets. Jets had 9,000 picks, and look at them.
Yeah, they got some dogs in the secondary who are just pulling it down and doing their job every play.
I was on Tampa last week. I think I was the only one, right? And I knew somehow Brady would. When he had 59 seconds or 48 seconds, wherever the hell it was, I said, this is it. This is when I'm going to be right. This is the one I'm going to be right, because I was so wrong about Carolina last week, obviously. But I said Tampa's been looking at this game since the schedule came out. They'll find a way to pull this. I said pull this out of their ass. That's exactly what they did. This week, Seattle's looked great against good teams. So I don't know that I can even play. I don't play London games. I treat them like Thursday games.
Probably
So,
correct.
I don't play a London game, but if I were to play a London game, I wouldn't mind going Seattle.
I'm curious
Not,
who
but who really wants to go again? Tom Brady's like an idol across the world. So I mean, like this could be like a get right time for him now. I don't know. So I mean, I wouldn't want to play it. I'd stay the hell away from it personally. Number one, it's London. Number two, it's Tom Brady. I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, and I'm not betting it either, but I'm curious to know who's going to deal with like the traveling more. Because poor Seattle, man. Seattle has to like basically fly around the world to get to Germany.
Pretty damn much. They're coming pretty damn much. The flight's actually only an hour difference, to be honest with you, from Seattle to Tampa. That's how far south they are in Tampa, in Florida. If you look at it, if you look at the flight from Seattle to Germany, from Tampa, it's only an hour difference. Crazy, right?
Well, I think they're flying somewhere in America first. Seattle is.
Oh, really?
Like, I think they're stopping in like New York or something on another plane.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyone got a read on this Arizona Rams game, or is it just a dumpster fire like everything else?
I'm going Rams.
Yeah?
Yeah. Rams have kind of had their number the last couple times they've played. They seem to be the one team who absolutely knows how to contain Kyler Murray's legs. And I just think the Rams are due for a win.
Isn't Stafford hurt too? And Kyler Murray? Like, I think they're both hurt, right?
Yeah, well, that's why I think it's just like a not bad.
Are they?
I was tempted for the Rams all week, but
yeah,
I don't think Murray's out though, is he?
They're saying he's a game time decision now.
Oh.
I don't know if I buy it all that much, but that's what.
So this Monday night game, Washington and Philly.
Eagles.
Isn't it like 11? It's like 11, right?
I think Washington covers.
I do too.
I think they cover, but they'll find a way to lose.
Divisional games, 11 points. Look when you gave Cleveland 9 points or whatever it was against Cincinnati, and they won outright. Yeah. I know Cleveland's the best right now up there in the whole NFC, but you don't give a divisional opponent 11 points. I don't give a shit who you are.
Bad teams also tend to show up on Monday Night Football.
Yes.
Like that's
where's that game?
Washington.
Prime time home underdog. Love it.
An 11-point underdog.
It's enough for me.
It's gonna be tough for them.
Can you put it past the Commanders to win this game? Like,
listen, no one put it past Heineke to beat Tom Brady when he was on fire the year they went to the Super Bowl.
Isn't this right up?
So this is right up Heineke's alley right now to beat somebody when they're at their best. Look at Lawson's face.
No, he didn't beat Tom Brady, but yeah, it was close. No, I understand what you're saying, but here's the problem with Heineke. It's difficult for him to have long drives. If he has like a 9-10 play drive, there's one going to the other team. Like he's like a poor man's Ryan Fitzpatrick. And like, I get the methodology here because the Eagles didn't look all that good against the Texans. Like I completely get it. It's just the Eagles are the most consistent team this year.
I just think 11
covering, you got to cover because I agree with the cover, as crazy as that sounds. Like because
the Jets were 10-point underdogs to Buffalo. You know what I mean? So Cleveland was like 9 points to Cincinnati or 8 points or whatever. Both of those teams won on the field. I'm not saying they're going to win, but don't we think that the numbers have proven themselves here? 11's a little absurd.
Yeah, but the Eagles have also covered big spreads like that. But my issue about the Eagles, because why I have to agree with you, though, is in the second half, they've been pretty bad, which makes sense. Like
they let up. Yeah. Because garbage time points count.
Yeah, like I completely agree. But I'm not feeling too much positivity about the Commanders. Like against the Vikings last week, I don't feel like they're showing too many signs of progress. But that defense, they always seem to start playing better week 7, week 8. So I'm
And we
curious.
got to be getting close to Chase Young coming back.
Yeah, well, I'm curious to see what their D line does against Philly's O line, because no one's been able to fuck with Philly's O line this year. They got some good gap stuffers, and like you said, Chase Young should be back soon.
So I mean, if you're gonna ask me for a play on that, I'm gonna go that route. And I do love Jacksonville this week. And I mean, that's pretty much where I'm going with this. I think someone said the game is in Philly. Is it in Philly or is it in Washington? However you look at it, it's still 11 points divisional. It's too many.
Washington.
All right, guys, I gotta go. Thank you
All right,
guys
thanks for having me.
All right, thanks, Lawson.
Oh no,
All right,
always nice to have you guys. Always nice. Thank you for
Thank
waiting.
you. Sorry for my connection earlier. I don't know what happened.
Oh no, that's all good. It's live TV. We're live.
Oh,
YouTube.
and for my props, you guys, I told you I gave you Nick Chubb over. I think it's 85 yards. I like Christian Kirk with the over in the receiving yards. Those are the two that I got. I'll post any more that I like.
Yeah, and I like that Nick Chubb one.
I do too. It's my favorite. That one and Christian Kirk are my two favorites.
All right, I'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. See you later.
Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. The best gambling show on the internet. Patreon bets should be up soon.